Welcome back to another episode of Pizza Technologies or Coding with Pizza Technologies. This is your host Keith Baraka, and today we are going to tackle HTML images. Here is our notebook, and here we're going to start. What are HTML images? HTML images are used to improve the appearance of a web page. Okay. Now, an example of how they should appear inside a website is as follows right here. Sorry. Here, this tag here contains the image or how an image should appear. It has the source of the image and the image itself. Okay, that is the image. Now, HTML images has a syntax. HTML images syntax, basically. The HTML image tag is used to embed an image in a web page. Images are not technically inserted into a web page, but images are linked to web pages. The img tag creates a holding space for all the referred images. The img tag is empty and it contains attributes only. Does not have a closing tag either. The img tag only requires two attributes. The src attribute, which specifies the path to the image. The alt, which specifies an alternate text for the image. Okay. Now, the src attribute the required src attribute specifies the URL to the image. I will show you in a short while. When a web page, this is important to note, when a web page loads, I think I will just copy paste it for you from my notes so that you can see what I am seeing. When, wow, that is very long. When a web page loads, it's at the browser. At that moment, that gets the image from the web server and inserts it into the page. Therefore, make sure that the image actually stays in the same spot in relation to the web page. Otherwise, your visitors will get a broken link icon. The broken link icon and the alternate text basically are shown if the browser cannot find the image. Okay. The alt or the alternate attribute, the alt attribute, the required alt attribute provides an alternate text for an image. If a user the user for some reason can't view it, it's because of slow connection, an error in the SRC attribute, or if the user uses a screen reader. That is most likely the only reason why the user won't be able to view it, or get the idea. Now, image size has width and height within it. Okay. Now, you can use style to specify the style attribute, basically to specify the width and height of an image. So width and height, or style, it's a question, very nice question to ask. Now, the width, style, and height are all valid in HTML. Okay. However, we suggest using the style attribute. It prevents the style sheets from changing the size of images. Okay. Images in other folders. What are we supposed to do here? If you have images in your subfolder, you must include the folder name in the source attribute. Okay. Now, images on another server or website. Okay. Some websites point to images on other servers. Okay. To point to an image on another server, you must specify an absolute full URL in the source attribute. Animated images, also known as GIFs, HTML allows them. So HTML allows animated images. Image as a link. To use an image as a link, I think I'm not going to write this one down, but to use an image as a link is to put the img tag inside the a tag. Okay. Image floating. This one I'm going to write down. Image floating is whereby you use the CSS float property to let the image float to the right or the left of the text, or of our text. Okay. Okay. Now, chapter summary. This is where we do a summary of what we have just learned. Use the HTML img tag to define an image. Use the HTML source attribute to define the URL of the image. Use the HTML alternative attribute to define an alternate text for an image if it cannot be displayed. Use the HTML width and height attributes, or the CSS width and height properties, basically not attributes but properties, to define the size of the image. Use the CSS float property to let the image float to the left or the right. Tomorrow we will be doing HTML image maps. Okay, and by the end of this week, I am sure I will be able to build a slight website, not extremely heavy, but not extremely light either. Thank you. It has been an awesome recording with you. Peace.